You know, we all see the champions standing on the podium, right? But what really gets them there? I can tell you it's almost never just about the final score. It's about the story, the journey that got them to that moment.
So what is it? Is it just pure raw talent? Or all those grueling years of training? Well, yeah, that's part of it, but I'd argue it's something way more profound. It's about the story, the incredible pressure they overcome, and that very human part of them that shines through when the stakes are at their absolute highest.
And to really show you what I mean, we're going to look at 3 absolutely phenomenal athletes from the Milano Cortina 2026 Winter Games. Each one of their stories shows us a totally unique but equally powerful path to glory.
Okay, so our first champion is a perfect portrait of pure, unadulterated perseverance in the super high-stakes world of bobsleigh. This is the story of a true legend's final ride.
The commentary team really said it all, didn't they? I mean, even before she started her final run, everybody watching knew they were seeing a legend in action. Can you even imagine the pressure of having to live up to that reputation one last time?
And here's where the story gets even more incredible. This was so much more than just another race for her. Think about it. She's 41 years old, she's a mother to 2 kids with special needs, and just making it to these Olympics after a really tough season, that alone was a huge, huge victory.
So, in that final decisive run, her younger rival, she made these tiny but very costly mistakes. Meyers Taylor, on the other hand, she was practically flawless. She just took all that pressure, all that history, and channeled it into this incredibly powerful, precise performance that was, well, it was simply unstoppable.
And boom, there it was, the absolute climax of a stunning career. After winning 4 other medals, she finally got the one she wanted most, Olympic gold. I mean, what a moment. Just incredible.
All right, let's shift gears. Our next champion's story is a whole different kind of win. This one isn't so much about longevity, it's about redemption. It's about bouncing back from unbelievable pressure in the world of alpine skiing.
So, the whole story going into this race was this so-called Olympic curse. You have Meyers Shiffrin, who is arguably the greatest skier of all time, and she'd gone 8 straight Olympic races with no medal. 0. The weight of the entire world was on her shoulders. The big question was, could she possibly break through? And her answer to all that pressure? Just absolute dominance. She didn't just ski cautiously, to get on the podium. No way. She attacked that course with pure, raw power, just flawlessly carving her way down the mountain. It was a complete masterclass in mental strength. And the result? Get this, a winning margin of a massive 1.5 seconds. In a sport that's usually decided by hundredths of a second, that is an absolute eternity. It was the most powerful way possible to silence all the doubters and just shatter that curse. Okay, for our final portrait, we're jumping into a brand new Olympic sport, where greatness wasn't about a comeback, but about seizing a historic, first-ever opportunity. This is a story where a lifetime of training all boiled down to one single perfect moment. So first off, a real quick look at the sport itself. Ski mountaineering, or skimo as they call it, is making its big Olympic debut. And let me tell you, it is brutal. It's this wild combination of endurance climbing on skis, then literally running up steep parts with your skis on your back, and then a crazy, mad dash downhill. And heading into this first ever Olympic final, you had this classic David versus Goliath story brewing. You had France's Emily Harrop, the dominant athlete, the heavy favorite, and then you had Switzerland's Marianne Fatton, a former world champ for sure, but definitely seen as the underdog for the gold. And here it is. This is the critical moment. The race wasn't won on the grueling climb up or the risky descent down. Nope, it was won right here, in the transition. Harrop had the lead, but Ferretsen's changeover was like lightning. In just the few seconds it took her to click into her skis, she stole the lead and was gone. And you know what? That one single perfect moment was all it took. Marianne Fatton held that lead all the way to the finish, becoming the first ever Olympic champion in ski mountaineering, an absolute history maker. So, we've got 3 incredible champions and 3 totally different ways to get to the top of that podium. What does all this really tell us about what's at the heart of a true legend? Well, it shows us that there's no single blueprint, There's no one formula for greatness. For some, like Meyers Taylor, it's that relentless drive to just endure. For others, like Shiffrin, it's the incredible mental strength to rebound. And for some, like Fatton, it's having the nerve to execute one perfect history-making move. The common thread here,
The thing that ties them all together isn't just their physical talent. It's endurance, it's resilience, and it's audacity. These are those qualities of the human spirit that really elevate a great athlete into a true legend.
And you know, that's the real magic of the Olympics, isn't it? Greatness is written in these defining moments. So as we keep watching these games, and maybe even as we look for greatness in our own lives, the real question is, whose moment will be next?